So after the conclusion of the 2018-2019 Championship playoff, we now know the 20 teams that will make up the brand new squeaky clean Premier League season. But what do the bookmakers think? Who do they think will come out on top? We'll talk about it next. That's right, folks, back once again with another video, this time looking at the brand new, squeaky clean 2019-2020 Premier League season. And we'll get to that in just 1 second. If you're new to the channel, smash your subscribe button to keep you bang up to date with all things Premier League related, Blackburn Rovers related, woo, football related. We're going to all here under one roof. Now, what we're going to do here, obviously, Aston Villa, congratulations to you. You joined the likes of Crystal Palace, Leicester, Wolves, Tottenham, all the big boys. They're all in there for the new season, which kicks off probably in August, unless something crazy goes on. And obviously the fixtures have not been released. It is very, very early into pre-season. It's not even a pre-season. We're still trying to wrap up this season. But the bookmakers have released their odds on who they think will go out as champions. So what I'm going to do to you now, and as we kick on further towards the season, we're going to do a monthly update on those odds to see just how much changes. Now, obviously, managers come and go. There's also this talk of the Newcastle takeover. Players will come in, big players will go, all this kind of stuff. So a lot of factors will change these odds as and when the season draws to a start date in August. So what we're going to do is going to show you right here, right now, what the bookmakers think will happen this season in regards of who's going to be the favourite for the championship, who's the favourite to go down, that sort of stuff. These are not my predictions. I'll do my own separate prediction video as we get closer towards the start of the season in July. So I'll do one back in the end of July. But anyway, let's kick it off and take a little look at the bookmakers' opinion of what's going to happen this season. Now, these odds were taken today, which is Wednesday the 29th of May, and they are taken from the William Hill online site. So I'm not a gambling man, and if you are a gambling person, please gamble responsibly and all that kind of good stuff. But anyway, so what I've clustered them all together into sections here, because there's a big cluster of maybe 7 teams that are the complete outsiders here, and they are these teams right here. So we have newly promoted Norwich City, who are 1,000 to 1, and they're joined by the likes of Bournemouth, Brighton Hove Albion, obviously the playoff winners Aston Villa, them six-finger banjo playing weirdos Burnley, Crystal Palace and Sheffield United. So those cluster of 7 teams are the complete outsiders. So if you were to make a £1 bet on them to win the Premier League, you would get £1,000 back come the end of the season. So yeah, and then when I look at those, obviously everyone treks back to the days of Leicester City when they completely blitzed us all. I think they were 5,000 to 1 at the time. So obviously the bookmakers are kind of taking a little bit of look back at that and retrospective action, and not offering such big odds on complete outsiders. But out of those 7 teams, I'd actually separate that up a little bit, and that probably would change as, again, the season draws to a close. For me, at initial glance, I would say Brighton, and probably Brighton, Norwich, Burnley and Sheffield United would be more outsiders compared to the likes of Aston Villa, Crystal Palace and Bournemouth. I think Bournemouth are an established Premier League side. They're going to be more towards the lower mid-table, maybe 12th spot, that sort of thing. So, yeah, I can agree with 4 of those, but maybe 3 of them should have a bit of separate odds. And then moving on forward towards the middle, so middle cluster or middle bottom of the table sort of thing, we have these 3 teams. We have Southampton, who are currently at 750 to 1. Now, for me, I think Southampton are one of those teams. They could surprise a few teams this season. I thought the Husenhalterfella, the Austrian Klopp, came in and done a pretty good job towards the back end of the season, picking up good results against Manchester United, Liverpool. They made them worried a little bit. So I think Southampton are a decent side, and I don't think they're going to have too much problems with relegation. And obviously there are rumours of players going in, going out, that kind of stuff. So it could be an interesting summer for Southampton moving forward. We have also got Watford. Obviously they got battered, absolutely creamed by Manchester City in the old FA Cup, and they did have a good, strong season last season. Can they repeat it? Probably not. I think this season is going to be a much improved. I think obviously when we move further up, we've got Newcastle and Leicester, Wolves and that kind of stuff, who are packing big guns at the moment, obviously, if depending on what goes on with Newcastle. But Watford, 750 to 1. It's they could do a repeat. They could do much better, but to be honest with you, I don't think lightning will strike twice. I think Watford will have a much worse season than they did this season. And then we have West Ham United. Obviously, Pellegrini's been there, done that before with Manchester City. He's got a 300 to 1 odds to go out and win the championship. So that's pretty much the bottom section, the bottom 10 teams of the Premier League. Let's move on into the next cluster, and that is Leicester City. They currently come into this in the worst section of this section of 4 teams there. Let's say obviously been there, done that themselves. 200 to 1 odds for them to go all out and win the Premier League. Can they do it again? Probably not. Obviously, it was if you go back a couple of years to that occasion when Leicester surprised us all, it was one of those fairy tale moments. Completely, would never see it again. Well, not for a long time anyway. I think if anyone's going to do it, or anyone's going to surprise us out of this cluster of teams, that's including the ones at the bottom, I think Aston Villa have a chance to maybe surprise us all and finish in the top 8, top 10, maybe. But they have to have good recruitment. They've got to invest well. They've got to keep hold of Jack Grealish as well, and they've got to make positive changes. Obviously, Dean Smith is a bit of a wild card though for this division, so he's never been there. So that's going to be something that needs to be handled nicely. But yeah, and then Leicester City 200 to 1, Newcastle currently 150 to 1. Obviously, the takeover is just rumours right now. There might be some meat to that matter, and eventually, hopefully, in the next few days, we'll find out. 'Cause, to be honest with you, if that happens and Newcastle do get some sort of billionaire coming in, you know, the world is their oyster. They could be up there into those top 6, top 4, pushing for Champions League once again, but this time with some oil money feeding the fire a little bit, and then maybe that it might surprise, it would wake up that town, because or that city, should I say. Newcastle have their fan base, very loyal. They've been there when they were down in the dumps. So yeah, it'd be nice to see them competing once again. Towards the top 4, top 5, top 6, that sort of thing. You never know, maybe even a title push. Everton are in there, 150 as well, same odds as Newcastle, but just above them is Wolves. Obviously, they had a tremendous season last season. I think they're in Europe as well. That might hinder them as well. You never know. With adding extra fixtures, playing on Thursday night, playing on a Sunday night, those kind of things could make your season a lot worse than you did previously. Obviously, Wolves didn't have any European football last season. They did have a good couple of cup runs to balance that out, but adding European football in, that could be a separate battle, separate beast. So they're currently, what are they, 7th favourites? Is that right? 7th favourites at 125 to 1, with Newcastle and Everton joint 8th favourites at 150 to 1. So let's kick it on further into that magical top 4. Now there is obviously some divide here, but I've clustered them in the colour of yellow as bronze medal battlers. I have Arsenal and Manchester United joint 5th favourites for the title, 25 to 1. Again, these are by Ladbrokes, not myself. Manchester United are in European football. Arsenal, again, this is actually recorded prior to the Europa League final against Chelsea. Now, what could happen in the next update when we'll do one of these, probably the 29th of June? We'll know hopefully by then if Arsenal are in the Europa League. Or if they are in the Champions League. And if they are in the Champions League, that could hinder them. Playing in the Europa League could also hinder them. So, as it stands, they're currently 4th place, and I'm sure those odds will shorten or lengthen depending on the result of that Europa League. Into 4th spot, we have Chelsea. They're 20 to 1 at the minute with the bookies. Obviously, finished 3rd last time out. Can they go one better to 2nd or maybe even 1st? It's a long shot. Tottenham currently priced at 3rd favourite with 14 to 1 odds. Obviously, they've got the Champions League date to look forward to this weekend. And that could also change it. You know, obviously, the rumours of Pochettino could leave. I don't know if those words were taken out of context or what, but if he goes out and wins the big time the trophy, is there any need for him to stick around? He could move on to a team on the continent, in Spain, in Italy. Anything like that can happen. So, yeah, those odds could, if that was to change, if Pochettino was to leave, I'm sure those odds would lengthen, and you would see the likelihood of Chelsea, Manchester United, and Arsenal even maybe overtake them. So that could develop, and again, transfers could change things. There's obviously some current links right now with a Spanish midfielder to Tottenham, who's hotly tipped, hotly fancied, and again, if he can come in, boost their ranks, that could also strengthen their odds as well. But anyway, into the top 2 we go. There's no real surprise. We're going to reveal these as they are, because it's no major surprise. We have Liverpool in 2nd favourite with 5 to 2 to win the Premier League, according to William Hill. And then we have obviously Manchester City, current champions, 8 to 13 to go out all the way. Obviously, keeping Pep Guardiola is massive. I think there might be a bit of a change, despite them winning it quite convincing. Not quite convincingly, but the Liverpool and Manchester City both ran away with it, realistically. Those two were in a league of their own, and it was only at fine margins in the end that kind of gave the title to Manchester City. But they're losing company. They might lose one or two other players as well in the transfer window. They might upgrade a couple of other positions as well. So, yeah, Manchester City aren't resting on their laurels. They are looking to improve their squad further. As for Liverpool, same deal. They'll probably rotate a few players, maybe get a couple in. What's going to happen to James Milner? He's getting on a little bit. There's rumours linking him to Paris Saint-Germain at the moment. So, Yeah, it could all be an interesting. Well, it's definitely going to be interesting summer, regardless. Obviously, there's a lot going on with Manchester United, a lot going on with Chelsea, perhaps with Sarri maybe leaving, which would then open up a door for someone else to come in for Chelsea, which could be Frank Lampard. You never know. All these things, and these things will change those odds. But as it stands, on Wednesday, the 29th of May, these are the current odds by William Hill. If you want to, I'm not being paid by William Hill. I've said them about 20 million times in this video whatsoever. But if William Hill is watching, you never know. I'm up for grabs. I'm up for grabs if you want it. But anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to check back in a month's time to see how those odds have changed. We'll compare the odds, see if they've lengthened and shortened, see if there's any change at the bottom of the table there, and obviously if there's any change at the top. Obviously, again, managerial change, transfers will be taking place, and maybe that takeover will happen with Newcastle United. But as of right now, 29th of May, this is your hot spot right here. And also looking forward, I will do my own predictions towards the end of July, once the transfer window is kind of is settling down a little bit and all that kind of good stuff, and then I'll have a clear indication of who I think will go out all, and obviously I'll do better than last year when I predict Arsenal to win it. But anyway, that's pretty much all I've got for you today, folks. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash a thumbs up, and if you do, smash a subscribe. I'll try and bring you some more Premier League updates as and when they happen. I'm thinking about doing some other videos regarding Premier League players in the next few days, depending on what goes on. Also, make sure you check out the old description, links to my other social media platforms, and I'm going to be going live over the month of June and July on Twitch. I'm going to be doing prediction videos for the African Cup of Nations, the Gold Cup, and the Copa America as well. So I'm going to do live sessions of those. They're kind of like Q&As as well. You can come in and ask me any questions you like about the Premier League, about football, about Blackburn Rovers, about anything you like, and we can answer them live over on Twitch. But if you can't make it on Twitch, I'll try and bring those live sessions. I'll upload them onto YouTube anyway, just in case you can't make it. But anyway, details to that sucker. If you click on the link to Twitch, it'll send you over, and I'll have a schedule there of what's going on and taking place. But anyway, let me hear your thoughts and opinions on what you think will happen in the old Premier League in the brand new season, which kicks off in August 2019. Do you think Manchester City will go out and make it 3 Premier League trophies on the spin, or will Liverpool finally break that duck and become Premier League champions, just like these guys? That's right, Blackburn Rovers. But anyway, folks, that's all I've got for you today. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Until then, thumbs up, subscribe. Ciao for now. Thanks again for watching. Please like, share, and most importantly, hit the subscribe button to keep you bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, championship related, football related. We've got it all covered right under one roof. And while I still have you, please be sure to check out some of the old videos scattered along here. I hope.